turning back. Lady Aphrodite, I'm afraid there really isn't much here worthy of you, but perhaps this can suffice.
My, but if this isn't such a treasure to behold, and I accept it as a sign of your affection, of something even more, perhaps? Little godling, you must know the 7 types of love by now, don't you? It's quite a complicated field, though several types intrigue me most of all. In fact, why, I have several types of love for you right here.
愛の7つの形なんて聞いたことないけど、有名なんかい？
I'm ever grateful that my journeys through the underworld mean that we can get to know each other, Master Chaos.
Your repeated generosity with me is starting to become a bit predictable. And yet somehow I nonetheless appreciate it still. How very odd.
いらんこと言わんでいい。余計な一言やろ、それ。
Son of Hades, should eventually you spawn your own offspring. I recommend maintaining sub-infinite distances with them in space and time. Even if they are most tiresome, there always seems to come a point when one wishes to be in their presence once again.
It's him, Baldy.
Hello, sir.
Oh, but this is just too much for me, Your Highness. Thank you, really. I don't know how I can ever repay you.
How about you keep on helping me not die as quickly as I might have otherwise? Deal? Hey, sir. I've always wondered, what were you like back when you were alive? Were you always this wise?
Might surprise you, Highness. I have a bit of royalty in me myself. Not on your level, mind, but I was very much a king. Though, I'll be honest, I wasn't much of a good man.
Huh. I thought I sensed the royalty in you. Although I can't imagine you as anything besides the gentleman I know you for, my friend.
Well, that is awful kind of you to say. Though I would like to think my punishment here wasn't without warrant. At least I've had a lot of time to think it through. You got it.
Oh, thank you.
あれ、岩はここにも送れんの？じゃあ送ろうか。
What's the latest, Baldy? Had any good tumbles down that hill of late?
そうやろうな。
That's that. So, there's something you like to do for entertainment out here, Baldy? Or just, I don't know, take it all in, I guess?
なんか喋ったら面白いねんけど。
Hi there.
久しぶりやな、一人って。
I almost want to thank you, Zagreus. I thought you'd never change that blasted pact and leave me here in peace.
What, you mean you aren't lonelier without Alecto's or Tissiphane's companionship? They seem so wonderful to have around.
They're tolerable each to some extent. About as much as I can say for you. Now let's the two of us begin. Every time.
なめるな。
Strictly business.
Hey, it's the Hades kid. What's it going to be this time,
That's settled then. I never could have come this far this quickly had it not been for your tireless support, Lord Hermes, sir. I'm in your debt.
You know, cuz, I gotta say I had a few concerns when we first met, your father being who he is and all. But you're alright. You ever wonder how I got this fast, cuz? Lots of practicing, I'll tell you that. And being born unnaturally quick, I guess.
ああ、そう。
Mighty Poseidon, greatest of my uncles, arguably. Please accept this gift.
For all the times I'm offered gifts or sacrifices, little nephew, I still always very much appreciate it. I mean, look, I'm grinning ear to ear.
いやらしい顔してるな。
It's likely, little Hades, that you currently reside just underneath one of my boundless seas. Normally, you'd have to be submerged to use this power, but you know what? Close enough.
Lernie, you really didn't have to reconstitute yourself just for my sake. Enough.
Poseidon sought you out already, My boastful brother gets on with Lord Hades even worse than I. So let me put a little spark into his storms for you.
They're making me choose.
いや、きついな。
Let's use Zagreus.
You think you can brush me aside like that? Well, I think I can crush you into tiny little bits. Let's see who's right, shall we?
So that's the way it is then.
I'd say this little squabble can be put to bed for now. I'm better for the moment, but I was very angry with you, love.
I'll keep my soul for now, thanks.
Vanquish all who stand against you, noble cousin. I and your relatives upon Olympus shall assist you in so doing.
Thanatos?
Why, hello, Zagreus. Looks like we've got an urgent work-related matter to attend to. Think you can beat me again, Zag?
What do you think, Than?
Come forth and die, preferably with some amount of dignity.
Megara?
Mind if I drop in?
Much too close.
The fearsome Cerberus accepts the satyr sack.
Thank you, boy.
勝てそうな規制ね。
Into the cold. Been waiting long?
Varatha, I recognize its presence now. That's not just any three-pronged lance you wield. I could never stand to look at it. Once my brothers and my sisters and myself. Once our foul work was done.
You mean once you'd chopped up your cruel and overbearing Titan parents, right? Shame you threw it out. It's quite useful.
Perhaps the fates decided that its wielders ought to all eventually wind up on its receiving end. Come then, let us see what the great Achilles has taught you.
Oh, I won't go back.
よかったよかった。よかったわ。
I failed to you again.
運が良かったわ。
How? You win, boy.
By my father's name.
Imagine, if you will, the underworld prince soon meets one of his typical ignoble deaths.
That's Orpheus is singing.
Oh, you are just the best. I bet you died on purpose just to get this back to me, didn't you? didn't you?
一生寝てる。
I have a secret, Hypnos. I've died on purpose every single time just to see you.
ノリがいいな。
Welcome to the House of Hades. Just come on in.
It's my great pleasure to make your acquaintance. Call me Dusa, please. I'm your house custodian, and I am at your service. Anything you need, just call, okay?
Dusa, wonderful to know you. This house is immaculate. Night and day difference from before. Now I know exactly whom to compliment.
Thanks so much. I will not let you down.
Thank you in turn.
This nectar not fancy enough for you, boy, is that it? You've developed quite the delicate palate at your distinguished age.
Though having little appetite remaining for the lightness of nectar's flavor, the multi-headed monster of the underworld nevertheless accepts.
食傷気味。
The hound of hell rests peacefully upon his favored spot.
Well, see you around.
Enough of this, boy. Even mortals know better. I don't want your nectar or ambrosia or whichever offerings. You owe me no such thing, and I shall not accept it any longer. In fact, here. You shall take all of it back.
そんなこと言うね。
Why? It's just nectar, Father. Lighten up. I get that you're surly about everything, but please at least try toward decency with me. If not for me, then for Mother.
How dare you lecture me? I mean... Look, as you told me yourself, there's no changing what already transpired. And our memories are warnings. When you have lived as long as I have, you come to understand your weaknesses.
What are you getting at? You're just going to give up, stick with what's comfortable for you instead of making any real effort at making peace with your son.
Listen to me. My attempts at making peace are going to be rather subtle for your tastes. I cannot change the past, and there is only so much I can do about the future. I tell you this because I shall not lie to you again. That much I swear.
All right. Well, it's a start.
Oh, so nice.
Always wanted to ask you something, Father. Whose skull is that there on your shoulder? If it's not too personal.
I did not chronicle all Typhon's wretched offspring, boy. No one did. Some of them sit upon our shoulders now, lest we forget that things could easily have turned out rather differently, and much, much worse.
So these are just the remains of the spawn of the most hideous monstrosity of all time, which you and your brother slew, got it? I guess putting the dead in their place is all part of the job. I can hardly imagine what it was like before you and the Olympians took charge.
You're better off.
Oh.
Hey, Achilles, I uncovered a late passage in the Codex with regard to Thanatos and me. It says, you say, you think that I'm the god of blood? I'm not the god of anything, I think.
Oh, nonsense, lad. If you're a god, then you're the god of something, I'm sure. It's just an observation, and I genuinely hope it's no offense. But see, your father and your mother, and your bloodstones and your disposition.
I'm not the god of anything, all right? Got a donation here.
This hymn is dedicated to your deeds, my friend.
Beautiful, mate. Skelly, while I know your services have already been paid in full, your sources ought to know you've been doing an excellent job. So much so I wanted to give you this.
Is that a vintage bottle of ambrosia, pal? I never even thought I'd get to try a thing like that. I mean, what am I here? You know what? I want you to have this. To symbolize our friendship and in case you ever need a hand out there.
Skelly, mate. You really shouldn't have. Do you have any idea how hard to find this is?
Less yak and more smacking, boyo. Now, come on.
クールやな。
That ought to liven things up. My Lady Artemis, this is nothing next to all your grace and favor.
Hey, wait, this is an offering for me? Oh, that's very kind, though. Let's get back to hunting now, okay?
照れるな、照れるな。
I think you might enjoy it on Olympus. There's a lot of feasting here, I guess, and the air is cool and crisp, and it's much brighter than it is down there. Sounds like a dream, right?
Lord Ares, you have shown me nothing but respect and granted me your favor repeatedly, Lord Ares. This is the least that I can do in kind.
Most often when I'm given offerings, it is with wishes that I lend my favor in a coming war. Yet from you, my kin, I sense no such motive. I'm quite taken aback by that, I must admit. You must know I often hunger for destruction, almost uncontrollably at that, though I am finding you are able to sate that appetite of mine.
A toast in your honor, Lord Dionysus, mate. Have I mentioned how pleased I am to have made your acquaintance?
What is that for me? Really? I mean, cheers, man. That is awful generous of you. I'm much obliged. Man, oh man, Zach, someday you will be the guest of honor at the biggest feast that you have ever seen. Though I know you've got your hands full for the time, so first things first.
Fan.
I thought I'd find you here. Hope you don't mind if I cut in here, Zagreus.
Together, we bring death.
Yeah. Time to pick sides. Not yet.
Oh, we are going to have a feast tonight.
I'm disappointed you would spurn me like this, cousin. Know that I retaliate not out of spite, but by necessity.
She'll get over it.
I see no benefit to staying angry, cousin. I promised Nyx that I would help rather than hinder you.
Shall we?
What happened to your weapon, Zagreus? I sensed its power long before you turned up. That isn't just some daedalus enchantment on it.
Oh, Stygius and I have been getting much more closely acquainted lately, Meg. Would you care to see the fruits of our healthy symbiotic relationship?
You and a healthy relationship? Why, yes. Then this, I have to say.
意味深やね。
Now.
I'm out.
Zagreus. No. You're good.
Nice seeing you. This one's for you, swift and sure-footed messenger of the gods. You make what you do look easy, but I know you're going out of your way. Thank you so much, Hermes.
My rule is not to let things get too personal as far as work-related matters are concerned, cuz. But your family, and, well, you're a right decent chap, I think. Offering up a bit of nectar to me in the middle of all this.
早口やな。
Not that I really know exactly what you're up to, cuz, but if I did, I don't think anybody in Olympus is aware of it. Or, if they are, they're keeping their mouths shut, the same as me.
I'd say make yourself at home, hon, but you look like you got cooler places to be.
Lerny, hiss once if you think you're going to lose. Done bashing heads for now.
またこのコンビか。
Then let us stand together.
I think we understand by now that when you test my patience, I shall test your ability to survive.
めちゃめちゃ怖いな。
Apologies, Athena.
Now then, I hope we can move past this little incident and keep our focus on the task at hand.
今回2回目なんやけど。
Master Chaos, it's little wonder all existence sprang from you, because I see the noble qualities in so many I've met embodied in you. Please accept this gift.
If it is unclear yet, son of Hades, I shall not be giving more to you in exchange for your repeated offerings. You give them to me knowing it shall serve no purpose and achieve no end. I know that there are some among both mortals and your kind for whom this is quite unacceptable. From the rumblings of the earth, I have deduced your father himself stands against you when at last you are about to leave these depths. It must be quite an interaction between you. Have I deduced correctly? Respond.
That's right, Master Chaos. My father personally takes it upon himself to stop me in the event none of his underlings beat him to it. He can be a handful.
Well then, consider bringing to one of your future interactions the small round catalyst which I provided you. The one in the shape you call an egg. It shall serve no purpose there at all. And if you succeed, then it shall bring us some amusement, shall it not?
Few others in Elysium are so unwise to take up arms against Asterius and myself. I shall return.
You'll have your justice in due course, cousin. I promise you.
The prince persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
See you, boy. Looks like the realm needs some adjustment still.
That pomegranate blossom. I caught its subtle scent as you approached. The queen has her mother's strength, and much more self-control.
What, you're afraid of a little flower now, father? One that imbues me with the fiercest might of Olympus, granted, but still, it looks harmless at least.
I fear your little flower there much more than you. The queen and her mother, they possess power over life, thus power over death. I shall see you back at home. Again, you.
Again.
Got you.
And again. Yeah.
In my father's name.
The underworld prince is getting rather good at this, but let us say he perished anyhow.
Ah!
Peace してる。沈むときにピースしてないやつ。
That's Eurydice's song.
Queen Persephone. All of us, we are most pleased you're back. If there is anything that I can do to ease your acclimation to this house, you need but ask.
Why, thank you, Thanatos. I'll take you up on that if I can think of anything anytime soon. But my, you've grown. I understand you've been looking after my son in the meantime.
Your son, he is very capable of looking after himself, it turns out. Although I try to be there just in case. Though I must beg your pardon, Queen. Someone awaits me on the surface now.
ちょっと褒めてるかどうかわからへん。微妙な言い回しやん。
I know how mortals hate waiting around.
You know, after dying in some wretched manner, giving pets to my good boy sure helps me get back on my feet. Thanks for being here for me.
The burning embers in the eyes of monstrous Cerberus, notorious Hound of Hell, reveal that he too is amenable to the pets of which the Underworld Prince speaks, and in fact is deeply grateful for the quantity of them.
Speaking of which...
おお、絆が結ばれた。結ばれてはないのか。じゃあ。
That's right, boy. Ambrosia just for you. You're going to love it. Pretty much every creature, living or dead, does.
The 6 eyes of the hideous Hound of Hell go wide at once from having received the exquisite gift of rare Olympian ambrosia. The creature is rather beside himself.
Say, Father, back when you drew lots with your brothers and wound up with the underworld, rather than the heavens or the seas, which would you have claimed, if the choice was yours?
むっちゃ世間話やん。
I do not deal in hypotheticals, boy. Each realm has its host of unenviable problems. You have never experienced the cold and sobbing sea, or the blinding heights of Olympus. I have, and I assure you, you're not missing much.
Didn't you try to leave the underworld yourself at some point? You once gave me that impression. I always thought it was because you hated it here.
I hate not having any choice. Enjoy the freedoms that you have. As you grow along in years, you gain more burdens and responsibilities, until they bind you.
Can't wait. Wanted to ask you more about Nyx and Chaos, sir. So they just drifted apart? I mean, why not just keep in touch? I don't understand. How hard is it just to say hello from time to time?
It can be harder than you know. For someone like Nyx, she was responsible for no small part of creation herself. As her relationship with Chaos grew more strained, she gave birth to strife, misery, doom, sons and daughters you don't hear about too much.
What, really? I've never heard Hypnos or Thanatos mention any of them, let alone Nyx. They sound like a handful. Where are they? What happened?
I don't know, lad. On the surface, I suppose. My point is, Nyx had her own problems to contend with. Dealing with her brood, governing the underworld all on her own before your father arrived. Her relationship with Chaos suffered for it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I am indebted to you, Zagreus, both for your friendship and embarrassment of generosity.
And I, in turn, am indebted to you, Orpheus, for your calm demeanor and ability to accept life's greatest challenges. You inspire me, and I wish you the best.
It lifts my spirits when we briefly interact, my friend.
Beautiful, mate.
Among my many children, both those born to me and surrogate to me, you are one of the most thoughtful and most generous of all.
So nice.
You have always cared for me and protected me, and given me someone to look up to. This is nothing, Nyx. Nyx, if, hypothetically, I felt that some injustice had been dealt to someone who deserved a better lot, say, that they were subjected to too harsh a punishment for all eternity, don't I have some of my father's authority to do something about it?
Now that you have regained your access privileges to the administrative chamber, child, Yes, that is the level of authority you hypothetically possess again.
But how can I possibly find anything in there? The place is wall-to-wall pacts and parchments. I have no idea where to look.
You can be made aware, though use discretion if and when you need to exercise this power, and make certain that the time is right. Now, are we understood?
Yes, we are.
So you cleared out some of the satyr infestation near the surface, then? How come the change of heart? Not like you to assist Lord Hades in such things.
I wasn't trying to do my father any favors, Meg. Those satyrs seem to hate me just as much as him. My one way out involves a detour straight into their dens.
An interesting coincidence. At any rate, that's one less problem for the rest of us to deal with. Until the satyrs all come back, at least, which won't be long.
I suppose not. Dusa, you must work harder than anyone in this house, keeping everything so neat and orderly. I don't think it should be thankless work, so thank you. And I'd like for you to have this.
Oh, Prince, wow, thank you. Thanks so much. You've been so generous. I think I'm speechless. No, can't think of anything to say right now.
Oh, you said it all. Don't mean to put you on the spot or anything. I'm just glad we've had a chance to get to know each other.
I'm glad we've had a chance to know each other, too. Thanks for the nectar. I can tell it's really, really good. Okay, bye.
Okay. It was bound to happen, really. The gifts of Master Chaos. Hope you enjoyed that vintage bottle of ambrosia last time, Skelly, because I got you another. Here.
Aw, no way, boy. Are you kidding me right now? Why are you even... Look, I just stand around and let you beat me up. You don't have to do this. You don't even know who I am. Who I was.
You're my friend, mate. It's all that matters. Although, I don't suppose you're willing to divulge those types of details, just out of curiosity.
Nope.
Drat. Skelly, is it really true you don't want to talk about how you got here? Just curious who you used to be, what you were like, your real name.
Hey, what makes you think this isn't my real name, pal? I'm offended.
Sorry, what I meant was, I was just interested to get to know you better, after all you've done to help. Anything you can share? Trade you for a detail about me.
Well, all right. I was once a commander of men. Name of Skelemius. Captain of the Cretan Second Fleet, sailing on Athens under King Minos. We were unstoppable. But then one day, one wrong turn, and we sailed straight into the waters of Charybdis.
Ooh. Skelly, that's incredible. So then, you and your crew, you perished at sea?
Boy, yo, you are something else, you know. All that Skelemius stuff, I could have had you eating out of my hand for days.
Oh, I get it. You got me. Fine then, Skelemius, but I don't appreciate the trick.
Oh, but I do.
Got to reload. Can't do that.
Nah, that was nothing. Never felt so alive.
Yeah.